Allenby's army followed the route of the ancient Egyptians up the plains from Gaza. And on the other side of the Jordan, the Arabs under Lawrence and Faisal moved up in support. And in 1917, Jerusalem itself was captured, and since then has been under a British mandate. But the point of the mandate is not that it is British, but that under it, Palestine has once again become a country of ideas. Nationalism has brought the Jews back, and the Zionists have built New Jerusalem. If you carry your mind back to the jumble of roofs round the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is only half a mile away, you will get some idea of the contrast between the old and the new city. This is a typical Zionist house just going up. And these are typical Zionists. Queen Mary Avenue. And Tel Aviv, the first purely Jewish city in the world, with a beach that will soon rival Honolulu. Under the same impulse of nationalism, the Arabs too have made great strides since the war. With British tuition, in the plains they are learning to use modern methods of agriculture. In the towns, their boys are getting as good an education as boys get in Europe, mostly in Christian schools. And the girls, whose mothers would have spent their lives under the veil, are beginning to lead the same sort of lives that girls lead in Europe. The modern Arab, in fact, is a cultivated, educated person and a rival to the Zionists. In the center there is Mr. Khalidi, ex-mayor of Jerusalem, sent to exile in the Seychelles. This colony is called Nahalal and is built on the spot where Deborah and Barak fought Sisera. It is built like a cartwheel to help cooperation, and it is one of the cooperative colonies. In it, every farmer owns his own backyard and does all his manual and domestic labor for himself. He lives with his family in an up-to-date bungalow, and as you see, it's a normal family existence. Here's the farmer doing his own washing up. And this is his wife. And now you come to the center of the cartwheel, to the milk depot. And here, after it has been weighed and tested for quality, the farmer says goodbye to his milk, which is then taken over by a central organization which does all the communal buying and selling. That is where the cooperation comes in. It's the domestic and manual labor that is done by the farmer and his family. Now, in contrast, here is a communal colony built with a palisade because of troubles with the Arabs. This palisade was built in a single day. Inside, the colonists begin in straw houses or in tents, and they own absolutely nothing themselves, not even money. The children do not know what a coin is. In the more advanced or older communal colonies, a very high standard of living has been achieved. This one is called Giva, and here are the children's buildings. From the first week of their lives, all the children are brought up in the same building and looked after by 7 or 8 of their mothers in turn. The children's night nursery. The 2- and 3-year-olds having a shower bath. the day nursery. Of course, a great deal of money has been put into this experiment, but these are the children of peasant farmers, and there is no question that their standard of living is higher than that of peasant farmers elsewhere. In Giva, the work is shared equally by men and women, and the vineyards are famous. Many of the grapes come to Europe. In contrast to the family meal you saw in the last colony, this is the communal dining room, which includes many types for all its meals. Everybody meals together. And work is arranged by a committee, and nobody necessarily knows what he will be doing from one day to the next. Instead of the farmer's wife washing up, here is the communal laundry. We don't want to emphasize the clash, but what we would emphasize is that the ideas behind it are passionately believed in and heroically fought for. Many of these Jews have been killed. And on the other side, men like the former Mufti of Jerusalem on the right has risked his life and gone into exile for the principles in which he believes. And to these people, Orthodox religion does not appear quite as it does to us. This is the ceremony of the Holy Fire in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Fire is supposed to descend miraculously to the tomb and is then passed out to the crowd. And the congregation stampedes as it tries to light its tapers from the sacred flame. Every year the police have difficulty in keeping order. Of course, this is only one small aspect of Christianity, yet it is an aspect of which modern Jews and Arabs in Palestine see perhaps most. And it's not surprising that they don't look either to Christianity or the old religions to solve their problems. But outside the city, there still stands the Garden of Gethsemane, which is one of the most beautiful and peaceful places in the world. And if Christianity has a message for the modern world, it's only here that its inspiration must be found.